Yo, what's going on, world? This your boy Najee from RapRadar.com. And today, man, I got a very special guest. I'm excited for this one, man. I had to come pull up to the Atlantic office. This brother seated to my left, man. This is probably the hottest A&R in the game right now, man. Like, that's facts. That's not even just hyping it up. I got my man, Mr. Orlando Whartonberg. What's going on, brother?
What's good with y'all, Najee? What's going on?
How's everything, man? I'm glad we finally got a chance to sit down and do this shit, man.
Blessed, man. I can't complain.
I can't complain, my man. You got the #1 album right now on Billboard. Kodak Black's Dying to Live. Shit is #1. I checked it today. I checked right before we started, making
Shout
sure.
out to Kodak.
Man.
First and foremost, shout out to the whole team.
Shout out to Kodak. How does it feel just like knowing like as an A&R getting a #1 record? Like what does that just feel like to you?
I mean, I'm basically more for the artist, so I don't really even care about the numbers and none of that. That don't even matter.
Just
to
whatever,
me.
like just the number when it's up there, you don't feel like
we're gonna put quality music out, so it's gonna hit, it's gonna slap. So I'm just looking for that slap, like.
Yeah. What was it like, just kind of the creation and the process of like making this body of work?
It was good. Like, Kodak was in the zone. He was real focused on what he wanted to do, what he wanted to talk about, what topics he was covering. He spits from the heart. So, everything was basically things he was going through. It worked out good for him. He told his story, his truth.
Yeah. Do you think it was hard? Because, obviously we're seeing it from, a faraway angle. Like he's kind of been in and out of jail. And he came out of jail and make this. Does that, I guess, have an effect on the creative process, just like his mind frame of where he's at?
I mean, of course, he'll be more creative because he has more stories to tell, more articulation where he was at. So it was a whole year he was away. So it was a lot of things he had to get out his chest. And a lot of feelings and emotions he recorded that he was feeling in there.
Yeah. What do you think that you, I guess, as the A&R, right? Like you're listening to this, and I guess like your job is you kind of constructing this thing. Is that how it goes? Like, what do you think you sort of added just to, what Kodak's already like making and
Man, he constructs his own thing. I just basically, playing beats here and there and see what vibe he's in.
Yeah.
And, he's basically creating most of his own stuff. He's really creative.
Yeah. So when you play beats, is it like, because we seen they played this easy beat first and shit went viral off the beat, right? Like it wasn't no lyrics, you just heard the beat, he doing a little move. Shit got crazy.
That was his vibe, his vibe. Anybody could have played that beat, but anybody ain't had that vibe he had with it and the timing and, the way he hit it.
Yeah.
This shit went good for him.
Right. So when you see like, I know you just said you just into the quality music, but somebody like Drake, right? Like he's praising the album. He said it was like one of the best albums he heard in the last however many years and all of that kind of stuff. Why do you think that is? Like what is it just about this project that you think makes it like that?
Because he's rapping his truth. A lot of people don't rap their truth. A lot of people rap a fantasy or made up lie about what they living or what they going through, and it's really not their truth. So it don't connect. It's hardest when you're rapping your truth,
right,
what you're really going through, and you're writing it down on paper and can write your emotions in that way.
Right.
And that's what Kodak could do.
Do you think it's hard? Like you said, because a part of his truth, like you said, is just, he been out the pen, he had trouble with the law. Like, is it hard as an A&R, like, knowing like when guys have like trouble with stuff like this, just, with your relationship with him and what y'all are creating, does that make it hard for you to do your job?
Nah, I mean, as long as he's focused and I'm focused, we straight.
Yeah. That's good money, all right. So what do you think, like, now, when you sign Kodak, it's interesting because Kodak seems like a guy, like, he's opening up a lot more now, but like, in the beginning, he ain't really fuck with nobody, it felt like. He was just in his own zone, like, he didn't do too many features, he ain't doing too much. Like, talk to me just about the process of, like, meeting somebody you don't know and then convincing them to sign with you.
I mean, that's always a process. You always want to make sure that it's a good fit and that, when you're meeting somebody that you could actually get along with them and, have the same views and have the same qualities and you got the same goals as them.
What do you think he saw in you that made him feel comfortable to fuck with you like that?
The same goals as him. I want to see him win. And, I want to generally see him win.
But you don't think, I mean, cause you know how the game goes. It's a bunch of A&Rs. Everybody like, hey, I'm trying to see you win. I'm trying to.
When I met him, he was a minor,
Right. Where'd you meet him at? Like, how did that?
I seen him on the internet, and I flew down there to go see him.
Just straight like that, like seen him.
Straight
Let me
like
get
that. I
this.
seen him, I liked him, and I flew down there. I thought he was a star when I first seen him.
Yeah. So what was it like when you met him? Was it at a show? You just pulled up to Pompano? He was in the hood? Like what? How?
We went to Gainesville. I met him in Gainesville, and he just did a show, and he knew his shit word for word. So I was like, fuck, I'm rocking with him. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
How do you know, like, something that's worth signing to you? Because you got to see so much shit, right? Everybody's sending you,
I mean, you just
sending
gotta
you
believe
things.
in what you just gotta find somebody whose art is their truth. That's what I look for. Like, you know, it's your truth.
Yeah. So, but what about like just like sonically? Is there something, like a certain sound you look for to get that off, or is it just like?
I mean, you have to sound good though. That's without
Yeah.
saying.
No, but I mean like I mean in a sense like, you know, you particularly, right? Every
Yeah,
A&R
if
is
you're an
different.
artist though, you're gonna find a way to articulate yourself and sound good doing it.
Yeah.
If you're a great artist.
Right. But what makes it click for you? Because you gotta hear a bunch of artists that you think is fire, right? Like I hear a lot of shit that I'm like, okay, that's hard, but what makes it click for you? Like, there's a difference between liking some
When
shit
you
and
meet
being
him,
like,
when
I
I
want to
meet him, I
sign
know.
that shit.
Like, you know, when you meet him, you know. Like, ain't no specific thing.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and tell you, oh, I'm gonna like the way he spit a 16. I'm gonna sign him. I'm gonna like this song. And it's a whole bunch of things that add up to it, you know.
So when you met Kodak, you just knew off
Oh
rip.
yeah,
Like,
I knew he was it. Oh, this one.
so outside of the music, like him, just personality wise.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I just knew he was it.
All right. I like that. So there's a record, the Malcolm XXX joint. That shit is fire. I like, you know, how he, you know, took the samples, took Malcolm's voice, and he's talking real in depth just about like, you know, X and just everything. I think he had a line like he got caught without the pole, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Like, obviously, you know, you signed X and you're instrumental in bringing X over to Atlantic.
X had went to Empire.
Oh, X I went to Empire?
Yeah, we
What?
did the deal with Empire, with
Okay.
Ghazi. Shout out to Ghazi and Empire Records.
Shout out to Ghazi and Neiman. So you took him in and you did it with Empire with X?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you, I guess, you know, met him, what was that vibe like?
I met him in jail. I just went to go see him in jail a couple times, spoke to him. I liked him. I seen he was real smart, articulate. He was a true artist.
Yeah.
I just wanted to help him.
Do you think that, I guess, you going to the pen kind of made a difference, like made him, you know, trust you more? A lot of people ain't doing that. A lot of niggas ain't really just making
I was
moves
going
like
there
that.
before he was really buzzing, so you know, I was already speaking to him.
Yeah.
So I already had a repertoire with him.
So y'all already kind of had
we-
established that, and
Absolutely.
so was it the same feeling with him? Like you just, like you said, is like the music hit and you connected
I
with
just
him?
liked him personally. He ain't had a lot of music out. I liked him personally when he came out of jail. Then when he went in the studio with him, he played me every type of genre that he had did, and I just never seen somebody do that and do it so well. Somebody that could actually do every style of music and make it sound good.
Right. Did you, cause that's what I, like when I first heard X, like obviously the Look at Me shit was the first thing I heard, right? Like I heard that, I was like, all right, cool, you know what I mean? Like it was cool, I wasn't blown away, I was like, all right. But then when I listened to the album and I heard the Jocelyn Flores shit, I was like, yo, this nigga's on some,
He's
like
an
a
artist,
different-
true artist.
did you,
So
like what is that like? Like you gotta kind of describe it, like to be in the studio and see the creation of that. Like how does,
X was real. X had his own vision in the studio. He liked the things his way, and that's why his music was so great.
yeah,
So, you know, he really was in the studio doing everything he had to do. He really controlled the session himself. He really knew what he wanted to sound like, how he wanted to sound, what he wanted to do, what beat he wanted to rap on, how he wanted to rap on it. He had a whole vision of the song before it was done.
so just him, like that wasn't like a whole team
No.
doing it, it's really just,
It was X. And he'll call a producer, and he'll call somebody who's gonna play instruments, and he'll just make beats around that. And he's a very talented young man.
yeah. He was definitely a very talented young man. Obviously, like, you know, legal troubles also played a part in his life and, you know, everything. I'm sure, like, just with, you know, Atlantic and people kind of being scared to touch that, right? Like, he's going through cases and, you know, sexual violence and cases like that. Does that have an impact on, I guess, you in terms of how you want to, your relationship with people? Like, there's certain people, like, you know, they back off when they see shit like that. Like, yo, I don't know if we could mess with it. I don't know what the case is. How does that play out just for you?
My moral compass is that of child molesters and pedophiles.
Yeah,
If you're a child molester or pedophile, will that have anything to do with you?
yeah.
Anything else, different circumstances. You don't know what happened with a case. You don't know what could be going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna discriminate on anybody unless you're a pedophile or a molester.
Right.
And I don't want to have any business or dealings with you at all.
Okay. I feel that. What was it like? I guess, you know, obviously his untimely death shook the world, right? They said that, I guess he was one of the top 5 most Googled names in the search bar. What was that like for you, just kind of receiving that news? Like, paint that picture, like when you actually heard it, because you were so instrumental in that shit. Yeah.
You know, he's a kid, man. I loved him. It was depressing. You lose a friend. I don't look at him as an artist. I look at him as my friend. So, you know, you're losing a friend.
Yeah. Was there anything, like, I guess, different that could have been done, you feel like? You ever replay shit like, man, if this would have happened, or if we could have did this, or like shit would have been different?
Nah. It is what it is. You can't sit here and replace shit. He lived a safe life. He wasn't out there flashy. He wasn't out there being ridiculous. You know, what was he gonna do different?
Yeah.
He was living his life. He's a kid living his life.
Right. What do you see as the potential? Like, what would it have been? Like, your vision, because you said you had a vision, same vision you had with Kodak. What was your vision of what that would have been with X? Like, if that hadn't happened?
What he was doing now, influencing the culture. That's what he really kept doing.
Yeah. To what level? Because
Absolutely.
you see the comparisons. Like, I've seen people, Pitchfork, I think they had an article saying, like, they compared it to Pac and shit like that. Like, did you ever feel like that?
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain type of.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
More worldly.
Right. I feel that. All right, so I want to kind of like, because it's funny, we was talking on camera, and I said this to everybody, is like, you know, when we first met, it was about 6-7 years ago now, some shit like that. And I was managing this artist 360, you know, shout out to 60 Free 360. And we did some shit, you know, we did a record. That was when you was managing Ransom back in the day.
Shout out to Ransom.
Shout out to Ran. And, you know, we was in the basement, we was in the gritty basement in Jersey.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Recording the small little shit. And I remember you told me, like I said, you was like, yo, you know, I'm just working on a lot of shit. And, you know, I got some shit I'm working on. And we here, I see you, you know, Billboard doing articles now and all of this shit. Like, so obviously there's a whole history that we trying to just get into, because, you know, people want to understand is like, how did you how did you get from just the management aspect to like this A&R shit?
Well, when I worked with Ransom, for a long time. We worked with Clue. So Clue had the #1 mixtape at the time.
Crazy.
You know, if you was on Clue's mixtape, you was hot.
OD.
So, you know, that was like A&R'ing back then.
Yeah.
You know, getting the hot artists on there, seeing what was going on.
Yeah.
Then working with Ransom, I learned all aspects of the business.
Right.
So when I went into the business, I already knew all aspects of the business, working with an artist that I was actually working hard and, you know, putting all in for. So I knew all aspects of the business. So when I got into A&R, and I already knew what it was like to manage somebody, to go work somebody's records,
right?
Spotify, streaming, and all other types of things to promote a record. So I already knew what it was to do that, and I already was doing it on my own.
Yeah.
So now when I'm just A&R and then finding acts, and you know, you can actually break acts and go and take acts and do certain things, it helps out.
Right. So I mean, like, even in that era, right? Like, you know, the Clue and Stack Bundles and all that. I know you was running Stack. Rest in peace, Stack. I know you was running with Stack Crazy.
Heavy.
How do you feel like the transition of like becoming a rapper? Because we was around that. You know, I was around that era. Just the grind of having to like.
It's the same thing. It's just
is it the same thing?
Mixtape is SoundCloud.
But it's so the era's so different now. It's just like.
It's still the same thing. You're still gonna search for your music.
Yeah.
It's just now people confused now. Before on the mixtape, it's for stars, and you knew who the stars were, and there'd be a lot of fillers on there, and people listen to the fillers.
Yeah.
Now you got these research people in A&R,
right?
You'll get all these same people on SoundCloud. The numbers are matched, but nobody knows who's a star because they not hitting the stars. They don't know how to pick people because they looking at numbers.
Yeah.
And those numbers will never equate to the love. So you'll never. So now you're looking at 200 people's numbers.
Yeah.
and they don't know what's hot. Nobody, they're just researching, so they signing everything, and they don't know really how to break these artists or even make records on these artists.
Right.
They just looking at numbers. It's an injustice to the artists.
Yeah.
Because now you're not getting quality products. You're not getting anything. You're just getting a whole bunch of music because it's streaming on some services, and you're not getting quality projects put together.
Yeah. Do you feel like that was a challenge for you in the A&R game? Like, because, you know, you coming from the street, right? Like, you came in here from the street, and it's like you got these guys that are just looking at numbers and data sheets and all this type of shit. And, you know, you come in with a different kind of vibe. Was that hard for you making that adjustment?
I mean, not really. If you 1K with people and you loyal, what is it if you're in the street or in the office?
Yeah. But I just mean the vibe of like...
what type of person you are, you know?
Yeah. But I mean like kind of gut feeling versus data.
I don't care about data.
Nah? That's not your...
Nah. Data's not music. Data never equal to the love. Just won't.
So when people measuring, like you see everybody putting their end of the year streaming numbers up, and I got this amount of million streams.
That's cool. I respect it. But
Yeah.
you know, who's listening to it? And why are they listening to it? And what is it doing for them?
Yeah.
And answer them questions for me.
Right.
If you can answer them questions and you can live with yourself, then you straight.
Yeah.
Who's streaming it and why are they streaming it for? And what is it doing for them?
Right.
Answer them 3 questions is you being an artist, and you can be real with yourself and you know where you stand.
All right. So all right. Well, let's go. So let me backtrack again. So we went from you had the management situation with Rand, you was running around, and I know for a little bit you was you had you got to 300, right? Like,
yeah, I was shout out Celine.
Shout out to Celine. How you? Because I
300.
remember when I seen you one time, he's like, yeah, nigga, I got a little situation at 300.
He just,
How did you even finesse that whole? Because people want to see, people see what
Celine.
you doing, nigga. They want to see this journey.
Celine, I knew Celine from the ransom days. He knew I was a hard worker. He knew I had an ear. And he's just as at 300. He brought me in. Thank God. Thank the God, Celine.
So he just showed
Love you
love.
for that, bro. What happened?
Celine, he just showed love. He just believed in you, just fucked with you, and was like, yo, come
He
with
was
me.
just like, come over here, work hard, stay focused, be determined,
Yeah,
and you can make something happen.
right. Now, obviously at 300, right? Shit was already kind of lit. Migos was on there early. Thug was on there.
Thug was on there.
So shit is already kind of bubbling. It's the new venture. You got Leor and Kev and Ty Moskowitz. So the whole energy is there. Describe that. Like, what does that feel like? You the new nigga off the
felt
street,
good.
walking in the office with all the execs that we done seen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Felt good. Like you got to know from the best.
yeah.
You know, the best in the business is in there.
What did you learn from
The
them?
Shark Tank.
Hey, that is
fucking
that's a
Shark
fact.
Tank.
That is a Shark Tank. Leor is the
Right
Shark.
there.
What is it like being like? What could you say? Like, I guess you kind of picked up from being around Leor and soaking up that energy. What did you pick up from him?
I mean, focus, relentlessness. Relentless.
But what do you mean
want it, you
relentless?
get
In what type of way?
Relentless. You see something, you want it, you got to go get it. You got to be focused. You got to be determined.
Yeah.
A lot of people out here trying to get stuff. You have to get it. You have to be determined and focused enough to get the artist you want to get.
Yeah.
Get the situation you want to get. You have to do it.
I feel that. So in that spirit, is that kind of what got you to Fetty, right? Like, we know Fetty Wap was your first like major
Shout out
claim
to
to what
Fetty
niggas
Wap.
was like, you know what I mean? Like, damn,
Shout out
whole
to
boy
Fetty
this.
Wap.
Yeah.
We did a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
Shout out to Fetty.
How does that go down? Like, obviously you from Jersey, he from Jersey, but how did you kind of build that relationship to even bring him in there?
I mean, I met him. SoundCloud wasn't even a thing like that. Like, people was posting shit on SoundCloud, but nobody was really popping off of the SoundCloud like that. Like, oh.
Yeah. What was this, like 14, 13?
Yeah, like, people would still get 1 million views and nobody would care who they are, you know?
You wasn't getting signed off of SoundCloud.
Yeah, you wasn't getting signed off of that, or even YouTube. Like, it was still the old guard. Like, you had to sign to somebody and really
Right.
get a buzz. Like,
Yeah.
so Fetty really was like one of the first people to really come out and use the SoundCloud vehicle and really damage it and get to #1s and sell millions of records.
Yeah. But what? Like I said, I'm just trying to get the key of what makes you know something. Cause, like, obviously, like for me, when I seen Fetty, it's like, all right, there's a nigga with one eye that's singing. That's the first thing you notice, right? It's just
his melodies was crazy.
crazy. So was that
He was singing on key every time.
Yeah.
He was hitting the notes. He was doing it right. Like that shit was. It was simple, but it was complex at the same time. And if you really know music, you'll know what you was listening to.
Yeah. Was it a struggle to get them to believe? Because when you the new guy,
Absolutely.
nobody trying to hear like, nigga, what? Like you the new guy saying this shit. Nobody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know, you determination. You stay focused.
Yeah.
And you get it. It took like 3-4 months to get him signed, and I got it done.
But what does that look like? Is that just you coming to Leo every day like, yo, nigga? Like,
Yes.
Straight up, just.
Yes. Yeah, let's get this deal. Yeah, we're going to do this deal. We holding you responsible. Like, you know, Salim went hard too. Like, you know, remember, I'm just working there with Salim.
Right.
You know, it's really Salim shit. I'm just there with him.
Right.
Like, he brought me in, and I'm over here. So he had to get behind it. But I didn't know what to do. Like, he knew what to do.
Yeah.
I just knew he was hot, but Salim was the one that knew what to do. Like, I didn't know what to do at that point.
You don't ever get discouraged with shit like that? Like, hearing.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had to lose. What I'm gonna get discouraged for? I ain't had nothing to lose, bro. I was out here on balls and knuckles. Out here, I ain't know what was gonna happen next.
Fact.
I ain't had shit to lose. I knew Fetty was hot, and I was gonna ride. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
That was it. Thank God that shit worked out.
That's worked out is an understatement, nigga. Like, so, all right, but because obviously the Trap Queen shit, that was the initial joint, went crazy. But, like, y'all had a good 4 of them things that, like.
Yeah, facts. Just kept hitting them. Bang, 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 back to back to back to back.
How crazy did that change your life?
I mean, that shit, you know, that shit definitely changed my life.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shout out Fetty Wap. Changed my life.
Shout out to Fetty. Well, in what way would you say, like, it changed your life?
I mean, it made me more professional, made me learn about the business of music. It got me hired at Atlantic Records, so you know, it definitely changed my life.
Right. So was it like, all right, how does that go? Is it like, yo, this nigga signed Fetty, he's hot, we need him here at Atlantic? Is that just how it kind of works? Like, what's...
I mean, nah, like, you know, something like that, but not that easy.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was something like that, then I had to come to Atlantic with nothing. Like, you know, it ain't like Fetty Wap, I signed him to 300. I came to Atlantic with nothing.
Yeah. But you, like, because it's interesting, because, like you said, it's just A&R is one of the most coveted positions in the game, right? Like, everybody got A&R in their bios, niggas want to be A&Rs, but nobody really knows, like, how you do it. It don't really come up. You can't just, like, apply online really like that, you know what I'm saying? It don't really go like that. So it's like, what do you kind of tell people who are aspiring A&Rs and, you know, they feel like they have an ear? How can they kind of be able to get in a building like this and be able to do that?
You got to find somebody. You got to be determined with them, stay focused with them, and make something happen, get some results.
Like off record, like you just got to do it with them and just go.
I mean,
you got to show and prove first, you mean?
I mean, people doubting you was the best way to do it.
Yeah. You feel like your way was unconventional?
I mean, I feel my way was the only way I could have did it, or the way it worked out for me. But you know, any way you can get in, you got to get in.
Yeah.
Like you got to get in where you fit in is
That's
a different way for everybody else. Like, you know, you got to see your method, how you can get in.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. At that time, it was Salim bringing me to 300.
Right.
Everybody ain't going to have that situation, but
Salim
everybody got a Salim somewhere that can
Right.
do something for them, and you turn it into what you have to turn it into.
Right.
It's all on your hustle, your determination.
Yeah. So even in that, right, like you said, I thought it was interesting. Like you just said, I came, you know, I did my shit at 300, but when I came to Atlantic, I'm on my own. Like, this is me right now.
Fact.
So how does that work, right? Like, you here at Atlantic, obviously you got the big dogs, you got Kaiser walking around, Julie Greenwald, I see, you know, you with her, Craig coming around. How does it go where you just like, all right, I'm here at this thing. I already made one, you know, I made somebody pop. I got something on my name right now. I got a stamp. How did you move from there? Like, what was like the mind frame of like, all right, I'm here in Atlantic.
And I had to
now,
come here, I didn't even know anybody over here. So, you know, it's like I was coming in the business, so I didn't even really know a lot of people in the business.
Yeah.
From 300, I only knew Salim, and we was back there just working on what we had to do. So I just came over in after, damn, I got to find some artists so I can make a name for myself.
Facts. What was the first, like, where you started? What was the first
Motherfucking Kodak, motherfucking Black. It is what that's the first artist I signed in Atlantic.
It's a hell of a first shot, my nigga.
Thank God for Kodak Black.
Yeah, facts, man. Wow. So all right, we got Kodak. Obviously, P&B's a part of the story, right?
P&B was next up.
Yeah.
Like P&B, I heard him. I thought he was fire. Let's go. A lot of records, we breaking him, and he had Selfish and a couple big records.
Yeah.
He was doing his thing, so
Yeah. So when you like kind of moving around with P&B, right? Like I know he was buzzing. He got locked up while he was buzzing. Comes out, you signed him right there as soon as he came out?
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. What was it just about him was it just the singing, like he could sing, hit a note, like?
Facts. He's just good singing, rapping. He was doing his thing. Shout out my man Vok drove down there with me.
Yeah. Right.
Went down there when he first got out. Fucking with him the whole day, night.
But how you do that though? That's what I want to know, cause it's not that easy just to go meet somebody and then get them to trust you enough with like to fuck with the business, right? It's cool to be like, yeah, I met this nigga Orlando, he seemed cool, it's whatever. But you talking about like you got these guys like, you know what I'm saying, like conducting business with you. Like, what's your mind frame when you approach people, to want to do business?
At first, I just care about the music. First, it's all about the music at the end of the day.
Mm.
They got their lawyers to talk about that. I'm not talking to people about business like that. I'm talking to people about music, how we get to create records, how we go get a gay player to take you to the next level. Like, they got their lawyers to talk about all that shit.
Publishing and all that.
I ain't got shit to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a deal. You take care of that other shit with your lawyer, we're going to get back and make these hits.
Right.
Like, that's what the fuck I'm concerned about. I'm trying to get you these hit records.
Right. So what?
So you can take care of your family. That's what the end game, that's what the focus is on, is taking care of your family.
Right.
So that's we trying to build artists to sell records. To sell records, you need hits. I'm trying to provide you them hits.
Facts.
So you can take care of your family.
When you talk about hit records, is it having the ear for a hit record, is that something you born with, or is that something that you develop?
Gotta be born with that shit, man. If you know what's hot, you know what's hot. Like, you can't teach that. Can't teach somebody what's hot.
This is a fucking class to come in and learn.
You ain't gonna know what's hot.
And y'all A&R meetings, they don't just tell you like,
what may be hot to me though, may not be hot to you.
Right.
Like, everybody's ear is different. Like, some people just got better taste than others.
That's a fact. David Dolph's.
It's like
a fact.
Everybody's taste is different, but
Yeah.
some people just gravitate towards different sounds more than others.
That's right. Do you ever feel like cause I agree with that, like everybody has a different ear and different taste. Do you ever feel like you missed out on, I don't say missed out, but was there ever somebody that came across your desk that you was just like, nah, I ain't really fucking with it, I ain't feeling it, and then it turned out to be something?
Nah, not really. Like, not really like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah. What about the reverse? Like somebody that you had and you felt like was the shit, but the building wasn't listening to you yet?
Nah, all artists are talented in their own right. People just receive it differently. You can never knock an artist for not being as big as you think they're gonna be because you liked them because it's your opinion.
Yeah.
So you can never, like, as long as you put an artistic product together and it's put together well, you can't be mad at that. Like, not everybody's gonna like everything. Like, you can't force people shit. As long as it's done well, you can't be mad at yourself.
Yeah. Because it's interesting you say that, because like, well, we're in a space in the game where it's like, you could kind of, with the internet, you could do shit on your own, right? Like, you don't really need nobody, you know what I'm saying? You get a mic, you get your shit up, you could go. Before labels and buildings sign you, it seems like, you gotta be moving already for people to really want to fuck with you. How do you think, like, for artists that watch this, how do you think for the artists that are watching this, like, what is it that they have to do to kind of get Orlando's attention? Like, how do you, like, it's just like me and my two niggas that believe in me, what do we do?
Be a good artist. You got Instagram out there, you got so many lanes that you could be heard. So people gonna hear you. If your shit is that good, it's gonna get to the right people.
You think so? I feel like there's a nigga on SoundCloud right now that's fire, but nobody don't know it though.
10 people gonna like it. Then if it's that fire, 30 people gonna like it.
Yeah.
Then 100 people gonna like it. Then 1,000, then you gonna hear it. If it's that fire.
Yeah.
If it's that fire, you gonna hear it.
Right. Right. But but how do you hear it though? Because
I listen to everything.
But that's because you older though. Like the newer kids coming up, the sounds be different. But you calling shit like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, if you got talent, you know what you're doing. No matter if the sounds is fucking backwards. If you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. You know what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you found A Boogie, there's same story. You knew what it was.
He was a good artist. He ain't sound like nobody that his own style.
Yeah.
Sounded like himself.
Clean cut.
Good music.
Yeah.
Good stories.
Right.
So he was truthful to himself as an artist.
Yeah. That seems like that's what you're looking for, just being true to yourself.
That's the only way you're gonna make it happen.
I feel like so with Boogie, like I know obviously you know we seen in the media play out Boogie and Kodak had their little friction. I know he even mentioned on the record, me and Kodak used to do records together. Off the new album, he said, like, me and Kodak used to do records together, and, it ain't like that no more. I forget the exact wording of the line, but how was that for you? Like, I guess people that, you sign and that you work with and, they have friction. Does that put you in, like, a precarious position, awkward position?
I mean, of course, but, everything cool now, so it's a good vibe.
Yeah. Did you
keep
have
the
to
good
iron that
vibes
shit
coming.
out, or, like, it just...
It's just cool now, so everything's just a good vibe. Just keep the good vibes coming. Everybody's selling records in good situations.
Right.
We just trying to keep good vibes and everybody take care of their families. That's what it's all about.
I feel that. So what do you think is just the next level for you, right? Like we about to come into 2019. You got a resume building. I seen you in the fucking Billboard doing features and all of that. It's like how do you see just the growth of what you're doing?
Just keep educating artists. Educating artists and keep putting out quality product. That's what we can do.
Yeah. I feel that. What I meant to ask you this before too with Kodak. Obviously, we seen the Ebro shit that he was sitting there with Ebro. He got tight. You know what I mean? They asked him all the questions. When you see that, is that like what you feel about that? Like, do you get upset or just like whatever?
I feel like Ebro was wrong in the line and the manner of the questioning. I feel like he was arrogant with the manner he was asking the questions in. When you're talking to somebody, especially somebody younger than you, you should be trying to help them out or educate them or do something to push the culture forward instead of just antagonizing people.
Yeah.
And, trying to get the shit that don't even matter. Like, people want to know about music. Like, who made the album, how you did this. People not even talking about music. So to me, it's just ridiculous. It's just bad journalism. It's not even journalism at that point.
You think he was like chasing the moment, or like would you feel like it was?
I don't know what he was doing. I just felt like it wasn't a good look for him as a journalist, as a professional.
Yeah.
I just feel like the line of questioning could have been better, and the subject matter could have been better. I mean, that's it. That's just basically it on a professional standpoint.
Right. No, I feel that. All right, man. So, like I said, I just want to get lastly, I don't want to take up too much of your time, you know what I mean? But just being able to kind of like get in depth from, a lot of artists, they always see this and they ask me for the behind the scenes guys because they're really trying to just get insight on, how they level up their careers. If somebody who wants to get their music to you and they're like, yo, I seen this interview, I know what Orlando does, I seen them make stars before, what's the best way for them to capture your attention?
Email it to me, Whartonberg@gmail.com.
Are you going to check the emails? Because niggas don't be really checking emails.
Well, what am I checking for?
Because that's what people say. Email it to me and then they don't ever answer your emails.
That's my email. I check my shit. Why wouldn't I? You might send me some fire. I need them. They don't need me. There's a million people out there. I'm trying to get they shit. Like, why wouldn't I want it?
Yeah. I feel like, so what distinguishes you, like you said, is just obviously the ear, right? Like you said, every A&R hears things differently, but like, do you think there's a distinguished thing between, everybody hasn't been able to rise to the level of success that you've had in A&R. You think there's a difference between you and the rest?
I'm just me, man. I don't even worry about nobody else. I don't care about nobody else. I don't look at what nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
I could care less. As long as I'm affecting the people I fuck with in a good manner, that's all I care about. I don't even care what nobody else is doing or what they got going on. That shit don't even matter to me.
Yeah.
If I like you and I sign you, we gonna try to win, and that's my concern.
Right. You seem like you're in a good space, man. I don't know if it's the white runts or you just good. Like you seem like you're in a,
Shout out
in a good
LB
place
and
right
the white
now,
runts,
man.
man. White runts will put you straight, man. Put you in that good vibe. Make
I
them
hear
hits,
that, man. Listen, first of all, I see you a private jet.
If you want
and
the white
shit, man.
runts, you look, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
You rock with this in the studio, you guaranteed to make 1 or 2 hits a night, man.
Man, what a plug. Y'all hear that?
I ain't even capping. Shout out LB, man.
Like I said, I seen you on a private jet and shit, man.
This just ain't my jets, man. I'm just flying.
Look like it, nigga. You know what you
Hey,
shit.
I'm just flying, man. I'm just happy to be, man.
Right. Nah, I feel like.
Shout out all my friends with they private jets, man. I fly y'all shit. So whenever y'all want me on, call my phone, I'll be there.
Yeah. Hit
My
my
man
phone
Vodka
too.
ride with me too. You already know. Let's get it.
Vodka, you be over there too? Right. Listen, man. Man, I really appreciate it, man. Just lastly, again, just for the people that are watching, you mixing and mingling with the top elite of this industry. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Kaisers and the Julie Greenwalds and Craig Kalmans. And what, I guess, last piece of advice could you give, the thousands of people that are watching this to just, advice that they give you that you can pass on?
Don't care about mingling with nobody. Just care about making your shit fire, and they gonna want to mingle with you. And that's that.
Man, listen, if y'all ain't get nothing out of this, I don't even know what to tell you, man. I got my man.
Hold on, man. Shout out 22Gs.
Yeah.
And shout out Shoreline Mafia. My man Little Italy, man. Them my young dudes, we out here, we working. We cracking the pavement, you already know.
Is that your next artist? Those are the next artists you working with right now?
Yeah, Shoreline doing their numbers.
Yeah. They
ain't
definitely
even
are.
playing around.
They definitely are.
22Gs coming out of Brooklyn. Like Rambo.
Okay.
He got his motherfucking shit going on. I ain't even gonna say nothing else.
Right.
I don't want to get him too,
Yeah.
And
this shit,
Little
though.
Italy out there scoping. So we
What's the
out
last
there.
one? Little Italy?
Yeah, we out there, Sniper Gang, Sniper Gang really out here. We out here grinding, man.
Yeah. I feel that, man. Damn, I like this, man. This was a good episode, man. Shout out to New Lane.
Like, that's the family.
Yeah, he bought you that fucking coupe too, man. That's
New Lane. Yo, PNB my bro, man. PNB blessed me. God bless me putting people around that's good people, man.
Yeah.
PNB one of them good people. Kodak Black one of them good people. Like, God really blessed.
Yeah.
Putting me around the right people. So I'm blessed for that.
That's for sure. Nah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, man, doing this, man. Thank you, brother.
Get it, bro.
Man, hey, this is Rap Radar, Cigar Talk. We out of here. Blah!